There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clintrix AI Podcast, where we discuss the current healthcare trends and how they are affecting our patients, our staff, and healthcare businesses. Today, joining me, I have Maya Shaposhnik Cadena, the CEO and founder of Vetted Pet Health. And today, we're going to be diving into staff burnout in veterinary care and what's really behind staff burnout. Thank you so much for joining us today, Maya.
Thank you, Laura, for having me. We're excited to be here.
Thank you so much once again. Today, we're going beyond surface level explanation to uncover what's really driving staff burnout and what can be done about it. So, today, I want to ask you, what does burnout look like in veterinary practice today, and how does it differ from just stress or fatigue or just being tired?
Yeah, so staff burnout is real just because the amount of pressure that's being put on the pet industry with the amount of pets there are, and the level of care people want to give their pets versus the amount of staff that you actually have to
Staff?
support the system. So it's happening because they're seeing so many patients. So, like, sometimes 20 to 30 patients a day. And
Wow.
at the same time, the pet parent with the pet a lot of times is not happy with the
Oh,
appointments. So they feel also like we're seeing all these patients and we're doing everything we can to take care of everyone. But at the end of the day, a lot of our customers are not happy with the level of care they're getting. So that combination emotionally is just really draining for a team. And I think
oh,
is like over time, it just makes you want to like not only, work less or work with like less motivation or excitement, but it also makes you consider just leaving the industry in general.
I can't even imagine being in that position of being a caregiver where you want to give the best care possible, but then you have all these things running behind the scenes. How do you find that affecting not only the staff, but in this case, the patients, which would be the pets? And it might not be obvious right off the bat, but with your experience, how do you find that affecting pets, their parents, the morale in the clinic, the
Yeah.
client satisfaction, all of these things?
Yeah, so at Vetted, we used to have like a chain of clinics in our business model. Now we don't do that anymore. We're fully digital mobile app that gamifies and
Okay.
rewards at home care. So it's really direct to consumer with pet parents. But when we had our clinics, something that it was very obvious was that as a doctor and a vet technician or a nurse, when you have patients that are booked at the same exact hour in multiple
Oh,
rooms sitting there, you are basically put in a position where you cannot give them the highest standard of care. It's not possible because right now they're booking in the same 30-minute slot 2 or 3 appointments. So if you do simple math, you have 10 minutes per appointment.
oh
And
yeah.
obviously, when a patient is paying $300 to $500 for a doctor visit, they're not expecting to pay that amount and only have 10 minutes with a doctor, especially when they know they have a 30-minute slot. They're expecting to
Oh,
get the full 30 minutes. And so it's a very hard position to be in because the vets and the vet technicians or nurses, they don't have the ability to really control like the way the business is running because usually
yeah.
the location's owned by a consolidator or a private equity firm, and that business has to produce a certain amount of revenue in order to pay their salaries, in order to be
Mhm.
profitable, like in order for it to exist even as a business.
Yeah.
So it's really a catch 22, and the fact that pet insurance doesn't even pay for like routine healthcare makes it even worse because you don't have any way to lower the cost of care. So it's kind of like an explosive environment, right? Business versus healthcare versus insurance and reimbursements.
Wow, that's like an intersectionality, like just different factors, that come into play. So as a leader, what kind of leadership practices do you think and organizational systems as well, do you think could make things better
Hmm.
or worse
Yeah,
from your
definitely.
experience?
So one of the reasons I started Vetted, and my mission has always been the same. My mission has been to empower pet parents from home to give the highest standard of care to their pets. So my belief is that if you put all the pressure on the vet system to take care of all the problems in healthcare for pets, then we're setting everyone up for failure. We're setting
Oh,
the vets and the technicians for failure. We're setting the pet parents for failure, and we're setting the pets for failure because it's not possible to do all your healthcare in one appointment of 10 minutes a year. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like, you know that every morning you wake up and you brush your teeth, right? You know that every day you're eating. You know that you're doing some exercise. You know you're brushing your hair, right? Or you're doing something of putting lotion on. I don't know, those things that we don't even think about anymore that we obviously do. But with our pets, they are domesticated. They're not like wild animals.
Animals.
So
Yeah.
if we want them to like live their best life and not have skin conditions and teeth conditions and eye conditions, there are all these things we can do, very simple things that you do from home in a few minutes. And you can create that kind of healthcare routine so that you don't need to go to the vet all the time and you don't need to go to the ER and you can prevent a lot of those issues from home. And that's what Vetted is doing through our app, through gamifying and rewarding it. So you don't even feel like it's a to-do list. You feel like you're playing a game and you're getting something out of it.
So for my listeners, Maya here has done something very revolutionary. I don't know why I'm having a bad time with that word today. In the veterinary care space, by transforming not just the traditional vet model of just going to the vet once a year or twice a year to now gamifying the everyday things you do for your pet to improve their lifestyle, their mental health through a mobile platform called Vetted. And when she told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so brilliant because we don't think about that. She said something which is really interesting. With the current age, technological age, where she finds a lot of her clients at the platforms are Gen Z and millennials. Obviously, because we are in the technological stage right now, we use technology a lot on our phones a lot. So it's so amazing that we're able to take care of our pets and have a more preventative approach to their care versus trying to solve a problem when it arises, giving them a better life considering our pets have a certain lifespan, some 10 years, less than 10 years, more than 10 years, but improving that pet's lifestyle while we still have them as pet parents or aunties or friends, whatever the case may be. Maya, one more question for you. What's one change you implement immediately if you could redesign how veterinary teams work?
If I could redesign it, I would have them think through the process post appointment. Right?
Okay.
Because really they're thinking about how do we drive traffic in? How do we maximize the appointment that we have? And then how do we get them back in a year from now? But nobody's thinking about what's happening throughout that year that they haven't seen their patient. And I
Mm,
think that's the missing link in all of this. That for 1 year, which is for a lot of pets, it's equivalent to 5 to 10 years of life, of human life. Okay, so imagine you don't see a doctor for 5 to 10 years. Like, the
wow.
chances of something going on, imagine you don't see a dentist for 5 to 10 years.
Oh
What
my
do you
God.
think's gonna happen to your teeth? Exactly.
Right.
So, it's like
Yeah.
we just understanding that, and once you understand that, you say, "Okay, there has to be ongoing care inside the home. How are we making sure our patients are well equipped to take care of their pets without putting the pressure on us, the staff?" And I think
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I wanted to build with Vetted and what our team is doing relentlessly every day is thinking about how do we get people to go home after their vet appointment and to brush their dog's teeth, to cut their nails and make sure they're not too long so they don't get ingrown nails, to bathe them every, once a month, or some breeds need once a week because their allergies are so bad, clean their ears because they have allergy conditions, make sure they're not overweight so that they don't have hip issues. But if I
Mm,
told you all these
yeah,
things, like even now, the way I'm listing it, it gets really overwhelming. Like you hear it all and you're like, oh my God, there's so much to
that's a
do.
lot.
And
Yeah.
so what we've done at Vetted and where we really like are proud of this is that we took it and made it into a game. We made it into a quiz, a trivia night you can do to learn, quick articles, tips and tricks you can learn on the app. And every single thing you do in the app, you get care coins. It's a type of token.
Oh,
And then
nice.
you start to compete with all these people in your community about the care coins. And then what do you do with the care coins? You can actually use them to buy yourself a free coffee at Starbucks or to buy
Oh,
yourself the
wow.
pet food for way cheaper than what you're paying. So you're getting rewarded for being excellent. And that way everybody wins in this model.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's really great. And I love that, you're able to actually have that real life rewards for the parents or the users of the app. So is this app currently just in the States? I know you're based in Florida. So is this just currently limited to Florida or just the States, or are you expanding to other countries currently?
So right now it's just in the US market, but our
Okay.
plan is to have a global expansion. I do think it's going to take us 2 or 3 years. We still want to make sure the app is really developed. We want to sign on a lot of global partners that are
Mm,
located all over the world. Like we would like to expand the app, but our goal right now and our focus is first to kill it in the American market and then we
yes.
can expand outwards.
Great, great, fantastic. I love that so much. And I love that you've really transformed veterinary care to, telehealth sort of, with technology. How have you found, utilizing technology, whether it's telehealth, I don't know if you utilize AI in your business, but how have you found that to impact your staff well-being? Because we have previously talked about, burnout and how it can be pretty challenging doing all of this in person in the clinic with such a time crunch. But with your, platform, have you found that has positively impacted staff well-being?
For sure. I think anything you can do to lower the pressure on the staff and actually have appointments that are supposed to be there and not appointments that are not supposed to be there. So a lot
Mhm.
of times like someone will come see the vet and yes, they'll pay like $100-200, but they didn't need to come to that appointment. Like the vet or the vet technician will be like, they didn't need to be here. Like I could have seen a different patient. Maybe we would have even gotten a lot more revenue and we would have given more care, but we don't know the severity of the appointments, right? Like we just take
Yeah.
whoever walks in. So I think one of the things that is important is really empowering the pet parent to know when they should take their dog in. Just like we know as humans when we feel bad, right? When we feel to a certain level, we say now we need to go to the doctor, right? It's not like the second you feel bad, you run to the doctor, right? So one of our most famous tools in our app, we do use AI. We have our own AI tools called the Doctor series, and one of our most famous tools is actually called Doctor Poop. Yeah, I
That's an
know.
interesting name.
Yeah. So just think about it like this, right? Anybody who's had a baby, also like a human baby, will understand what I'm talking about. Every person knows what their dog's number two looks like. Everybody, because they
Mhm.
pick it up when they walk them, right?
Yeah.
So imagine that they go to the bathroom and it doesn't look good. Like
Ugh.
it looks bad. In your mind, you're like, oh, is this about to be a few days of hell? Or is this going to be maybe just one thing he ate bad and he'll be okay? And
Mhm.
so instead of you running to the doctor's office the first time or the second time it happens and paying $300 for the appointment, sometimes up to 500, you now can use Dr. Poop in the app to just take a picture through the app. It scans it, it's 98% accurate, and it tells you
Oh,
whether it
nice.
identified things that are definitely you have to go to the doctor, or it looks good, you can keep going, and if you still have it, take more pictures and we'll let you know when it goes in the wrong direction. So it's not telemedicine because we're not diagnosing and prescribing. Even if the machine is identifying that it has worms or whatever, it's not saying what you have because that's a diagnosis, but
Yeah.
it's doing more of like a triage service where it's telling you we see something, you should pay the $300. It doesn't look good.
Mm.
Or it's telling you, honestly, it's looking fine. Probably ate something bad. He should be good in the next 1 or 2 stool cycles. Right. So we definitely use AI for those tools. And now imagine instead of it being disgusting, picture in your phone, in your photos, which is gross, but
Yeah.
every pet parent has it. And every mom of a human baby has pictures
Has
of their.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. So instead of
Yeah.
having it there, you have it in the app, and plus you get rewards for it. Like you do a good deed, so you get more care coins.
That is so mind-blowing. I love that idea, and I love that it doesn't diagnose it because then some parents might have a panic attack, but it's a nice way, like, instead of driving all this way, like you said, spending 100 or $200 to see a vet tech for something that might not even be an emergency. You get to do that from the comfort of your home and know whether this has to be escalated or it's just gonna be fine. That's really revolutionary. I couldn't even emphasize how much I love this so much. I really love meeting with amazing people like you and caring about how you're doing your own part in changing our world, making our world a better place. I love that so much, Maya. Well done, if I must
Thank
say so
you.
myself.
Thank you.
When you imagine the future of veterinary care 5 or 10 years from now, does a truly healthy, thriving practice culture look like for you? And what are your goals for vetted health as well?
Yeah, I would love I'll answer the latter first. Like, I
Okay.
would love to be able to partner with vet clinics and, like, be their tool so that they can see what's happening with their pet's health after the appointment, right? So like I would love for a pet parent to say, I go to X and Y vet clinic, and then we would send an email to that vet clinic and say, hey, this patient is using the Vetted app to do all of their at-home
Mm.
care. Would you like to see what's going on inside the home? And then they can see, oh, they walk their dog a lot. Oh, wow, they're giving them supplements. Wow, they changed food 3 or 4 times this year. Wow, they're doing the stool didn't look good a few times. Wow, they're worried. We have other doctor tools too. We're actually releasing two new features now called Doctor Teeth and Doctor Skin to be like, oh, those pictures of the teeth
Yeah.
don't look good. So all that information the vet now has, and then they can give better care in the appointment, more
Mm.
personalized care. If they know these things, they can actually do services that they know the services will be very impactful rather than more random services
Office
that they do for
level.
all the pets.
Yeah.
So that's my dream, is like to really find a way to like hook it into the vet appointments so that we have that true annual life cycle of lifestyle plus healthcare really put in together. Now, what do I hope for private practices? I think it's really, really hard, and only time will tell what will be, because there's this natural clash happening between the business side of it, which is like they need to make certain revenues and certain
Profit.
profitability, and then there is like the burnout and human side of it, right? Like where people cannot be pushed to that type of limit and do it again and again and again. Like that's why you see so many people who leave the space. And so I really think that what we will have to see over time is how they're able to give higher standards of care with, in my opinion, longer appointment times. Like they're going to have to find a way to get longer appointment times and potentially lower a lot of overhead costs that are probably not relevant anymore so that they still have margins. Instead of thinking about squeezing revenue as much as possible, I think they're going to have to think about making models more efficient and more affordable, like with how they spend the money, and therefore maybe even giving ownership to the vets and the technicians that work there, giving them maybe equity in the business so that
Mm.
they don't have to earn, they don't even earn that big of salaries, but instead of just making them a big salary, you make them a business owner. And that way they're also building the future and not just
Yes.
the day to day, right? They have like more of a commitment because they own a part of the business as well.
Yes. Great, great stuff, really. So for pet owners, pet parents, veterinary clinics, keep an eye out for vetted health if you're not in the United States of America. But if you are in the United States of America, this is available for you to download wherever you get your apps from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Use this to make sure you're giving your pets the best quality of care. Like you've heard our founder here, Maya, talk throughout this podcast. Maya, if you could give one last piece of advice to our listeners before we let you go, what would that be?
Yeah, I would just say that the vet space hasn't been changed since the 1700s.
Oh
So,
my.
yeah, it's the same model that started in the 1700s. And I think that if you truly want to make a change, this is the best, most archaic space to also make a change. Like you can
Changing.
change so many aspects of it. You can just pick one part that you're really passionate about, and you'll be making such a massive impact because the space needs it so badly.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Maya, for hopping on today and sharing with us so much useful words of advice and telling us about your revolutionary business in the veterinary care space. I am so, so grateful for this opportunity to see with you. I wish you the very best in your endeavors, and I can't wait to spread the news, share the word about the health, and hopefully use it sometime in the future for my pets as well. Thank you so much, Maya.
Thank you, Laura. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Okay. Here.